Max Wave started after Max Lentz, a local teenager, passed away in 2007. Some of his friends came together and thought it would be a great idea to memorialize Max and possibly start another river enhancement project here in Missoula. And so the idea was to take an irrigational structure and turn it into a recreational feature. We have the potential to become one of the best river towns in the world. And if you walk along these river banks here, there's tons of concrete, there's rebarb, there's trash everywhere. And I think it's embarrassing, and I think we can do better than that. Let's at least clean up the downtown area of our river. Before Brennan's Wave happened, there was just concrete down there. It was an old dilapidated irrigational structure. No one floated through there, no one hung out down there. And as soon as we took ownership of that area, it's just been great for downtown Missoula. We have events there. Kids come down and swim. There's surfers, tubers, kayakers, rafters, fishermen. A lot of different user groups enjoy Brennan's Wave. And so hopefully the Max Wave, as soon as we take ownership of this area here, the same thing can happen. There's a lot of, social, economic, and recreational benefits that the Max Wave could have here in Missoula.
Our agency bought the so-called island that's on the north side of the river, right where the Max's is meant to be built. We're in the process of designing what's going to happen with that. So I think you're going to have a lot of synergy in that area between the wave, Silver Park, the boat ramp, and this island, which is going to serve as Missoula's kind of beach to the river. I mean, if you've ever been down on that island, it's not even like you're in the city anymore. And when you combine that with the use that the Max Wave will have and being able to access it from both sides of the river, I think it's going to be pretty exciting. You've already got really not very desirable man-made structures in the river that this is going to correct. And these kinds of projects are the only things that are really going to correct those diversion structures that have been there for years and decades and turn them into an amenity.
We've written an exhaustive biological assessment. This is an impaired section of the river, according to the state. So it's not like this is a natural section of the river. We're putting in a grouted boulder drop structure in place of an impaired system. Basically, we're creating boulders and drops, which I tend to think is kind of a more natural ecosystem than what's there right now, which is just a very channelized, straight drop. The aquatic organism passage is designed so that fish can make it upstream. As far as the engineering differences go, this structure is going to have two different waves. It's going to have an upper drop and a lower drop. The upper drop is going to have one wave. The lower drop is going to have two waves. Plus there'll be a safe boater passage that'll be used for novice boaters who want to go downstream, as well as aquatic organisms can make it upstream, and it won't be a barrier. Each drop, the upstream drop and the downstream drop, are each going to have an ADA accessible paved trail going almost right down to the water's edge, basically right down to the high water mark. We've reached out to the ADA community, the adaptive community, and there's a lot of interest in this project, and there's not really anywhere else in the city that has that kind of access right to the river.
We are contracted by the City of Missoula to manage Caras Park. And since Brennan's Wave was built in 2006, we have seen a lot of changing dynamics in Caras Park and in downtown Missoula. And once Brennan's Wave was built and it started being actively used in a positive way, much of that negative influence that we had down there went away. When you have a wave like that, not only is it a big draw for recreationalists and residents and tourists, but the users of the facility take ownership of the space and the place, and they work hard to make sure that it's clean and safe and comfortable and welcoming. We've had a chance to work with lots of kayaking advocates in the community to produce events that bring a lot of people into town. And when they're here visiting from other places, they're staying in hotels, they're eating in restaurants, they're shopping downtown. They're getting to sample the lifestyle of Missoula, Montana. And many of them have chosen to come back 2 or 3 times for vacations, or even to relocate their family or their business to Missoula. So there's both short-term economic impact and long-term gain when you have those types of recreational destinations that draw people of a certain nature. We're excited about the project. We're supportive of it. We know that it's going to be beneficial for the entire corridor and for the community as a whole. And we look forward to bringing new events and people into the community to utilize those resources and, develop what we have as an asset that runs right through the middle of our community.